Hello, welcome to Mart's Garage. Hello, I'm just going to show this big, great big cobweb there. I'm just going to show this. This is my headlight switch. It's a vintage Bosch unit, and it has terminals where you screw, you know, push the wires in and screw them in. What I decided to do for the side lights is just put as many wires in as I could and then terminate them off. So basically I've got 5 feeds there that I can use to feed the lights. So I'm thinking one to the front on this side, one to the front on that side, one to the back, which then can be split at the back. Then I've got 2 there. One can go to the dash lights, and there's a spare, you know, for maybe these dash lights, or you know, there's a spare basically. I've got that red with a blue trace coming off, which then goes down there and goes down to that dip switch. I've got to come off that dip switch now with the high and low beam, dip and main, and also like an indicator from the main. But I can only really come off with 1 wire, so I've got to think about how I can come out and get power to the mains and dips on both sides at the front, and then a signal wire back to the instrument panel. Here's my indicator switch. Those are the relays there that make the indicators work one side or the other. The lights aren't hooked up, but if I go on ACK and I flick the switch, you can hear it clunk over there. Hear the relay. Listen. I'll try and get there. You can hear it clunk. I bought another flasher unit there. That one is for a motorcycle, and it has an audible buzz built into it. So I'm going to try that. Save having a buzzer or a light that has a buzz built into it. So you can see here, this is the thing, and then we have the 3 wires coming down there, red, green and yellow. Very kind of Jamaican sort of vibe going on there. I got my wife to plait that. I didn't know how to plait, and she showed me how to plait, and she plaited that for me. So that goes to the right hand side. I thought green for the right, yellow for the left, because yellow's got L's in it and green's got an R in it. Basically I'm trying to use up wire that's been left from other jobs. It's looking a bit kind of messy, but you can't, you've got to just keep laying the wires in. So what I can do is, I've got quite a lot of this white wire, so I'm going to use that for the lights because they're long runs front to rear. So I'll lay some white wires in now and you know, start to think about wiring the lights. Okay, back in a bit. But I just wanted to illustrate that at some point you have to kind of get the wire out and start reeling off lengths of it, and you have to be quite generous on the lengths because you have to, you know, trim them, and what you don't want to do is have them too short. Okay, I just wanted to show you that. One of the other ones I've done as well is coming through here, and actually along the top of the motor is a black wire there, and that will be for the electric fan. Everything on this car is a bit left bias, you know, it's left hand drive. Got all the pedal gear on that side. I've got the battery that side, the master cylinder, and the predominant amount of the wiring. You know, there's only the fuel pump this side, so it's definitely a contender for a good bachelor lane. Okay, right, back in a bit. Hello, I've just managed to chase these wires, you can see I've squashed them up a bit, through that piece of tubing there. It's a piece of rubber tube. It's actually like off a tyre blower up or a thing. It's a rubber tube with a bit of cotton braid around it. It looks okay. So I've got 4 wires there, dip beam, main beam, left hand flasher and side light. all coming through there. I could have gone a bit thinner on the wires actually, but you know, hey, just about got them through. And then that just runs down there and tucks in behind there, and then on it are 4 male 1/4 inch connectors. So I know it's a little bit close to the exhaust, but it'll be a little bit forward there. So these connectors will sit behind there. So that's quite neat, and I've got another one somewhere. When I found that, I can do the same for the other side. I can imagine with that like that, and that like that, and those like that, this headlamp can be easily disconnected and removed. That's actually quite a neat job, and there's plenty of wire here to form the connections. This is the wire for the indicator that goes up there, so I'll just splice onto that, and that's actually an earth wire there. You know, it's worth taking into consideration when you're mounting things like this, which are all rusty, that the headlight has to earth through here, you know, onto a rusty frame, rusty bracket, rusty bolts. You know, that's got to be a good earth point, because I don't have enough room in here for an earth wire. I'll find that other piece of tubing, and I'll show you how I set it up to pull the wires through. Hello, I'm just preparing this other headlamp sort of wire tidy, this one here, to pull these 2 wires through. I've got 2 in, and I've got to pull 2 more through. So what I've done, I've pared back quite a lot of the insulation there. I've got a piece of welding wire with a loop on the end there, and I'm just going to bind this up, and hopefully I'm going to pull it through here, the welding wire. I will need 2 hands to do it, but I'm just showing you the preparation. Okay, I'll bring you back when I've got more to show. Well, I've got the welding wire in the vise there. It's threaded up through the middle of the tube. I've got that just there like that, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some Vaseline on this area here. Hopefully it'll pull through. Okay, hang on. I'll just put some Vaseline on that bit there. So what I'll do now, oops, is just pull on here. I'm going to hold those there with 2 fingers. So hopefully this should just pull through. Let's see if it goes, because I did have a lot of trouble with the other one. No, that's going okay. That's going okay. There. That's gone a hell of a lot easier than I did the other side, but I learnt my little lessons on the other side. In other words, put the Vaseline on, get the 2 bigger wires through first, and get plenty of wire exposed, so you got plenty of wrap around there. I can just snip that off now. Okay, that was good. That was a successful little job. So that's both headlamps, got the wires in now. You know, I'm waiting on parts. I mean, I'm not waiting because I only ordered them last night, but yeah, it's amazing the number of little bits and pieces you need. Okay, righto. I'll bring you back when there's more to show. Just had a bit of a novel idea. This is the wire that will come off the dip switch, but I want to send it down. This is quite a heavy wire. This can take the power of 2 headlights, but I want to send it down 2 wires to the headlight units, the headlamp units. So what I did, I kind of bared the wire. Oh, it's kind of, I can't get 2 wires in on one clip, so what I've done is pulled the insulation down and bared a piece of wire there and crimped a connector on there, and then I've crimped another one there, so I've got 2 takeoffs now from this wire, and there's a male one just inserted there, just, you know, as a test. So I thought I'll give that a go, and I'll make 2 of these on the dip switch. So the dip switch just has 3 cables coming off it, and this one can support 2 wires running down to the headlights. On the main beam one, I'll do the same job, but I'll do it with 3 takeoffs. One for the, one for the left-hand headlamp, one for the right-hand headlamp, and then one for a wire to come back up to the dashboard for a high beam indicator. But I've never seen that or thought of that before. Novel idea. Never seen it before. Sparkies probably know all about it and know better ways to do it. Hello, I'm in the sedan. I'm continuing with the wiring job. I've inserted my 3 wires into the dip switch. This flap of rubber screws, peels back, and there's the screws underneath. I've used ring type terminals, but I had to file little flats on them to fit. So basically I've got the power coming in on the middle one, and then main beam, dip beam coming off on these sort of jumper cables here. But what that has kind of led me to start thinking is that this area under here can be a little sort of junction area for the harnesses running to the front. And I have both of the headlamp harnesses in place. One of them here and one of them in the same location on the other side. So what I was thinking would be the easiest thing to do is to just run wires from there back to what I've just sort of nominated as a sort of junction area underneath there, but do the same on the other side. Run them back along there into here, and then come across in this area here, or something like that. Anyway, I haven't quite worked it out yet, but that's the basic idea, purely because I think it will be easier than trying to run wires across there. So as I'm doing each little bit, the sort of design is evolving. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's very difficult to start off with a completely rigid plan, because every time you realise that's not quite going to work, you've got to be prepared to follow the path of least resistance. So and a secondary reason is because to run wires over there is because the fuel pump is there, so I need to put a wire over there anyway. Okay, yeah, I will continue and I will bring you back when there's more to show. Let's see if I can have another piece of luck pulling a wire, this time through a piece of copper tubing. Okay, let's see if it works. Let's oh yeah, look at that, great that is. Yep, okay. Oh yeah, it's at the end there, look, so I can so I just need to pull the blue and the red a little bit, don't I? That should just come in there now. And the idea is that copper pipe will protect these wires as these go across the car. This is that bit of harness that will run from in this area under here across there, and it'll go around the corner and forward and down the frame rail to where the lights are. So what I've done is I've threaded it through a piece of tubing, copper tubing, not brake line or anything like that. It's actually, I think it's something that they used to use on central heating systems. and I'm just about, and then this is the area that goes around the corner, so I've covered that up in some sort of this what is it, this sheathing stuff, which does quite a neat job really. And then I'm just going to cover that with tubing, but so I thought I'd just show it before I do it so that you can see how it's going to go, because you know, if I just show you the finished job you can't see how it was done. There's heat shrink there, look, and there's a little flare on the tube there, and the same here, and this piece will go along the frame rail. I thought, you know, just put it in this and you won't even see the wires running along the frame. It'll look alright. So I'm just trying to work out how to loop this through. It's got to come up through that gap, so I need to start by shoving it down through that gap. I could make it easy for myself by just disconnecting the fuel pump, but I want to make sure that it could be taken out in situ if necessary, but it shouldn't be. Once this is fitted it should be in there, so that's right. That should give me enough slack. Obviously doing this one-handed while holding the camera does hamper me a bit, so I need to come back here and then get through that gap up there. It's gone through, look, see. Oh, here it is. Yeah, okay. Now what is it stuck? So that comes along there. This ends up here. And then these connectors, which have all got a bit bent, can connect to these, for which I need 2 hands. That's quite a lot of effort to make that. I'll get it all hooked up anyway and show you what it's like when it's finished. I can't finish the job because I need, the headlights have come, the new headlights. These a halogen T4 with a side light underneath. Got a side light there. They've got some wanky blue, sorry, they've got some weird blue bulbs which I'm not going to keep, but they'll do for testing. So all these wires here need connecting to this lamp, and I've ordered some connectors, some high temperature ceramic connectors that will go on there. Oh, I've got some little bulbs as well. Yeah, the little bulbs came from in there, the little scooter bulbs. They came from a motorbike shop actually. Another little job off the list then, and I can replicate that down that side but a bit more simply. I'll get it hooked up and show you what it looks like. Back in a sec. There's the connections made. Black to black, blue to blue, green to green, white to white. So I'll just fix that in. I'll just put a screw in there just to hold it, and you know, you'll see how it goes. I put that one clamp in there. That screw's just a tiny bit too small, but I can't put one in there because the pipe is fouling the body bolt there. That's alright, but if I just put that under there you might be able to just see along, you know, and get the general idea. So there we go. I think that's pretty neat, to be honest. I'm quite pleased with that. A little bit of innovation. It's a conduit in effect, isn't it? And that's quite neat as well. And there's no wires on show. Just a little cluster of connectors behind there, tucked behind there. This can run across there, but it needs to be done in such a way that I can easily remove it, you know, if I need to pull the axle or something. But anyway, it can actually go underneath the lip there, but it's touching on the clamshell there. And if I do have it like that, I've got some clips. What I might do is just put a kink in the middle to clear that and just use these clips. You know, I'm nothing if not adaptable. There, that clip goes on there, and I think I've got some more of those somewhere. Yeah, I'll do that. So I'll just put a little rise in the middle to clear that, and then that can easily be taken off from there. Yeah, that's good, isn't it? You can't even see it. Okay, you get the idea. Back in a bit. Cheers. I've just received in the post this little push button switch, which my intention is to use this for the horn, and I'm thinking it wants to go just there like that. I don't mind drilling this because this is something I've made, but that can go there. And what I also have, I've got two of these, which you know, just little red warning lights. So I was thinking of putting one there and one, you know, on the other side there, sort of down there. One for the main beam and one for the, you know, an ignition warning light. Okay, I had to think about it, and because it's not a symmetrical design, I thought don't try and balance things, so I'm going to put the horn button over there on that side, and I'm going to put the two lights on this side. I think that'll be okay, because the two items will kind of fill this side in a better, which is bigger, and the horn button can just kind of sit there. I took a little break from the wiring because I was waiting for a couple of things to arrive. One of the things that's arrived is the these connectors for the headlights. What I've done, I've put like little pigtails on there with the connectors. So what I've just done is put all the connectors on there, put all the connectors on and some shrink wrap. Actually, I've messed that one up because I should have not brought it all the way up. So I'll have to cut that one off. So I thought I'd just connect that headlamp up and, you know, put it in place. I can't turn it on yet, but I'll be able to test it a little bit later today. This wire is the earth wire. And I don't know if you can see, but what I did, I took about 3/4 of an inch of the insulation off. And I've put a female terminal on with the wire coming through, and then I put a male terminal on the end of the wire there, so there's a female and a male on there. That's because the wire's quite thick, you can't kind of put another wire into it. So here's my lamp. Now this lamp is relatively flat. They're okay. That's the side light. And what I've done, I've put a little orange bulb in there for the indicator. So, right, from my understanding, that there is earth. So that's earth there. Don't need to worry about the insulation on that. That's the side light. You get my knee there. That's the side light, that one, which is white. That's the dip, which is blue. Blue there. That's the main, which is black there. That's the indicator, which is yellow. Yellow on the left, green on the right. I'm following a sort of Mart convention. Then that just leaves the earth from the side light, which can go into that second fit in there. So that's in there. That's there. That's all good. So this should all tuck back in there. we go. So I'll do the other side, then I'll sort the wiring that comes to it, and we'll have a look, you know, that comes to them, and then we'll have a look, see if they light up. Okay. Right, got a battery charger on, so there's my headlight switch. Okay, it's on, but it's a bit slow because of the power of the battery charger. So there's two lights, look, on, they're both on. Let me just close this door like that. Down there I've got the dip switch, so I'll put my clodhopper on that. So what's down there, look? Main. Oh, I've got a wrong connection in the lamp there, look. Or a bad earth maybe. So that's main. So there's something wrong this side. And that's dip. But dip's okay. Okay, so that's main. So that might just be, well, I don't know, you know, that's what you have to do, you have to test, don't you? So that's actually lighting up the indicator light on this side, so I'll have a look, see if I've misconnected them inside. Yeah, I could have done, couldn't I? I could have misconnected them down there actually. Okay, let's have a quick look. I'll turn them off. Yeah, look. See that? Look, I picked up that yellow wire. Anyway, that shows the indicator bulb works. So that's. So hang on. Oh, there's the black. There's the black. That's the one that should have gone in there. What a dope. And the third terminal there is for a main beam wire to come up to go into one of those units there, one of those lamps there. But one of those is set up to receive the main beam signal. I can't remember if I showed these actually. There's my horn switch, my horn button. That'll be for the ignition, you know, when you put the ignition on. And that's the main beam. Okay, I've got some new switches in for the indicators and the fuel pump and fan. I'm happy with these ones. The other ones were rubbish. Dip switch is in place, working fine. So let's try those lights again then. So there, what's that? Would that be dip or main? There's dip. They're a bit slow to react because the power is coming from the battery charger rather than the battery. Ooh. There's main. There's dip. There's main. There's dip. So there we are. Lights working. Pair of lights working. Okay, enough dicking around. I need to lay a few more wires in to power everything else. So, but anyway, that's just proved that the headlights work on that vintage switch there. Oh, and the ammeter works. Look, see the ammeter's reading there. Look. I haven't got anything connected to the side light part yet. So maybe that'll be the next thing to do. I'll get the side lights working. Just need a wire from up here. Just need a wire from here down to there and then connect in there. Because what I was thinking was to keep this area here as like a bit of a junction box area. And then everything, like from the dashboard and all across here and into the engine bay, will be one harness which will terminate there, and then there will be 3 auxiliary harnesses, one that goes to that side of the car and forward to the headlamp on that side and to the fuel pump, one that goes, that one I've just showed you, that runs across along the car this side to the headlamp, which I could have just done in one piece, but I think I'm happy with it like it is. And then one that will run back to the left tail light, the right tail light, the left brake light, the right brake light, and the fuel tank sensor. So that's it. 1, 2, 3 harnesses from here, but not part of the main loom, to keep things simple. I'll tell you something that I like about the way I've done this is, if you walk up to the car now, you can't actually see that it's any different than it was before, because you can't see any of that wiring. You can't see any of that wiring. The only telltale is that there's a piece of tube in there. In other words, all the wiring is hidden. I like that. It's better than on my coupe, where you can see quite a bit of the wiring, not from the outside, but you know, when you open the hood, when you open the bonnet. Okay, right, moving along, and 1 or 2 items beginning to start to work now. Okay, righto. I'll catch you a bit later when there's more to show. Bye. Side lights. I just took a couple of white wires, picked up the piggyback off the switch there, ran them down, you know, parallel with the routing of the loom, down here, down there, through my bridge, hooked them up there to the 2 harnesses that run forward down the frame rails. Light switch. It only took a couple of minutes, 5 minutes. And what I'll do now, I'll probably bring a wire from the main beam, which is down there, because it's got to be that side of that dip switch, you see. I haven't got a main beam, you know, anywhere up here. I've got a light switch, but it's just lights, you know, it's sides or headlights. That goes down to there. Only on there can I pick up a signal for main beam, so I'm going to pick that signal up from here, bring it back up here to here. Okay, I'll do that and I'll show you. Okay, another 5 minutes later. Thin blue wire there. I used a thinner wire than all the others because it doesn't need to carry any power. That's hooked to this light, which is earthed. It's actually earthed on the back of there. So let's put the headlights on. So that's I'll try and show what's on the wall and that light at the same time. So that's dip, that's main, dip, main, dip, main, dip. The old-fashioned battery charger's getting a bit of a hammering. But I think it's safer to test things with a battery charger than with, you know, with a battery. Thinking about it, the side lights should be on as well, shouldn't they? Yeah, side lights are on as well. Yeah, side lights are on. You just can't see anything in this camera. Okay, good. I can see a dull filament and a yellow filament. Okay, so as regards to the front end, oh, and I've got no indicators yet, so I need to carry on working and sort the indicators out. Okay, back in a bit. Okay. I've just run these 2 wires from the flasher relays down here, and they're hooked up to the indicator, the flasher on the front headlights. So now if I put that to the ACK position or the ignition position, but I'll put it on the ACK. If I flick that to the left, that one's lit up, look. And can you hear that relay there on the right? That's buzzing. Only gentle. When I first tried it, I nearly jumped out of my skin. It was so loud. But what I've done, there's a hole underneath, and I've put a screw in the hole, and that's quietened it down. It might want to be a little bit louder than that, so I'll have to kind of experiment with it to get a setting where it's just okay. But that's the left. You see the ammeter. Off. Right. The right one appears a little bit different, but it's a different batch of bulbs, that is. So I'll experiment and see what I need to do to get them looking the same, but it doesn't really matter as long as they work. That's quite visible, to be honest. Okay, another step forward. So all of these lights work now. Main, dip, side light indicator, main, dip, side light indicator, both sides, including the main beam indicator on the dash. Okay, right. Okay, back in a bit. I've been doing the wiring on the 32. I'm working on it, and I've done a lot of the stuff at the front, but I haven't done anything at the back. So what I need to do is to run a wire to this rear light, the other rear light, and the fuel tank. What I want to do is have the wire running along here and just disappearing behind there. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it inside a piece of actually brake pipe. Now these are the wires that were on this lamp unit, and the cloth braiding is actually over plastic wiring. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put this in place and try and bend that to just run alongside the tank and then down the back of the tank. Okay, here's the lamp. This tubing just kind of goes inside there like that. Just runs along the frame rail and down behind the tank. Kind of like that. Just flared the ends so that it can't chafe the wires. And just put a male terminal on each of those wires there. I'll put it in place and show you how it looks. The lamp just sits there, and the tubular part just runs round the back corner there like that. Just let it sit where it wants to sit. See how I get on with it. But it looks nice and simple, doesn't it? I didn't want great big brackets and things coming down here. I'm a little bit worried that it might not want to earth very well. I might have to run a earth from the hidden underneath on the bracket. I can't get another wire down here. That's 1/4 inch. So I'll just copy that for the other side. I didn't try and go in through the existing hole. It was too difficult to get down through there. So I just made a new hole near the front there. Okay. Do the same to this one now. Back in a bit. What I'm hoping to do today is to hook up the rear lights and the tank sender, and then hook them all up at the front as well. So I'm hoping by the end of this little session I can have all the lights working, including the rear lights, the fuel gauge working with the tank sender there, the tank slid forward, put into place. Hello, right, I've kind of laid the wires in, trimmed them to length, put the connectors on. I put a double on there to bring a feed over to the rear light on the other side. I've kind of used the fuel pipes and things as a means of retaining the cable a little bit. The blue one comes round to the sender unit. I've just got to put an earth on, which I'll probably just attach to that bolt there. Okay, right, back in a bit. I've just completed the wiring on the all the basic lights and things, and some other things, but not everything. So I'm going to do a run through of the lights. I had a bit of a scare. The ammeter was pegged to the left, so I kind of panicked a bit, but there was nothing wrong. It's just that it does flick there, but it sticks momentarily, so you have to give it a little bit of a tap to get the proper reading. So let's start with side lights. So you can see a discharge on the ammeter there. So there's side lights at the front, and there's side lights on the back. Now the one on the left has got a bit of aluminium foil, like a little cake dish behind it. The one on the right hasn't, so I need to find another one of those little cake dishes. I'll have to go and buy a box of cakes. So here's the headlights. Now it might do it again. Yeah. See, it pegs, but you have to just give it a tap to get the proper reading. So that is dip. That is dip. There, you can see it on the wall. So I'll press the dip switch. Okay. But you can see main and dip working there, both sides. So I'll turn the main lights off. So here we have brake lights. I've disconnected the thing from there, so I just need the ignition in the accessory position, and then that will bring the brake lights on. And there's the brake lights. Can you hear the little audible beeper? So you can see the indicator there, and now this one is flashing and that one isn't flashing. That's off. And there's the right hand, which you can just see there. And there's the right hand rear light, and the brake light is on this side, of course. So I'll just disconnect that, and that one just flashes on its own. And I'll put the side lights on. So there, now you've got side lights and indicators on the back. Okay, so that's all the basic functionality there then. Up there are there are two relays, and these four here, the four middle pins here, are the common, and they get the feeds to the lights. That's the rear right, that's the front right, that's the front left, and that's the rear left. And this is the feed in from the brake light switch here onto that one and that one. And then the feed from the flasher unit there goes to all four of the bottom ones. So that when you're driving along, you haven't got the indicators on, you put your brakes on, and the brake light feed goes into there, and goes out to the left rear and the right rear brake light filaments, which double as the indicator filaments. when you flick the switch, let's say to the right, nothing's on at the moment. It energises this relay, not that relay. So, and it switches the feed from the brake feed to the indicator feed there. So it connects the indicator feed, which is waiting for somewhere to go, to the right rear indicator and the front indicators. So these two here, which are the feeds for the indicators, get fed to the rear and the front indicators when this relay is energized. This relay, this indicator feed here and that one don't go anywhere because this indicator isn't energized. And that's how I've been doing my wiring. And I used to sell a little kit to do this. I use smaller relays, but these relays actually work out quite well because they take the standard size terminals. Just using those standard size 1/4 inch terminals is good because you can just put a connector straight onto them. That flash unit isn't in use. So that's how the indicators work. So if you use that system, you can say, I got that from Mart. That flash unit takes a bit of I'm not sure it's working properly actually. Okay, anyway, that's how that indicator setup works. Flashing indicators on the back. Everything's turned off. The other thing that works is the crank. So that's good, isn't it? So I've got a few other things to do yet, and then hopefully, you know, I can get to say the wiring is complete. I need to rig up the charging system, electric fan. Oh, I think that works as well. Hang on. Yeah, fuel pump works as well. That's just a priming fuel pump, it's not a running fuel pump. Okay, I've got a bit more to do, but I've certainly made some progress. I used little bits of brake pipe tubing to feed the wires to the rear lights. I think that looks okay, and they'll dull down with use, or I could just paint them matte black. I've got to bolt the tank in yet, and I've got to you know, clip the harness underneath the car. Okay, Mart's waffling again. Okay, you take care and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Hello. Look, I'm fitting my electric fan. I looked at doing all sorts of fancy brackets and things, but in the end I thought, well, I might as well just use the method that they recommend, which is to you thread these things through the radiator and you know, hook it on. So I'm going to try that. Excuse the fact that there's somebody mowing the lawn. Anyway, I thought I'd just show you what I've been doing, because what I've done to get these through is you poke one in from the front, you look to see where it's come through there, then you draw it back. Oh, hang on, I've lost it already. There it is, look. And then, no, I don't think I can do it one-handed, but you then pull it back and feed the other one in from that side there, like that. So then this one ought to come through with a bit of luck. There, come through the right place. So what you do, you then pause at that point there, and you get one of these little pads. And you just put that pad on there, which is easier if you use two hands. lock everything. So the pad goes against there, then you feed it through. There's a pad on the other side which you kind of square up. So that's through there. Oh, I wonder why there's two lots of these. Okay. Probably in case you decide to take it off and put it on again. So that goes on there, then this goes on there. Now, they go on, but they're not like completely irreversible, so you can't put too much load on them. Like that. So you just put a bit of load on like that. There we go. Just got to do it on this one here now, this one down here. Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. Look, I've done 3 out of the 4. So I'll do this one. I'll use 2 hands to make it easier for myself, and then I'll show you how it looks. What you may notice here is that I did exactly the same thing, but I just threaded a piece of wire through because I only have 4 of these things. So I need an extra one, but I've put a piece of wire in its place, so I can use that to mark, you know, that wire is marking where I need to feed the thing through. So I'll have a go at that now. And there's the pads on this side, so it's quite inobtrusive really. Okay. Hello, there's the fan in place. I've kind of put an earth to there, which will be screwed on when the grill shell gets bolted on. I've come through the radiator with a wire with a bullet connector on it, and then a bullet connector on there, a bullet connector there, bullet connector there. Just keep the wiring nice and simple. And I've just got this wire running down along the engine, and then it runs down the front there, and I just need to clip it in place so it doesn't touch any pulleys, and it just goes straight through the radiator there. Look. I'm kind of hoping it's going to work. I'm a little bit worried about temperature there, but I think it'll be okay. It's good quality wire, and if it's shorted, it's on a fuse, it'll just blow the fuse, so it'll be okay. So let's see if it works then. I've tried it with a rigged up earth, but I haven't tried it with that earth. See, it's blowing, look. It's blowing good actually. I think I only tried it with a battery charger on before and it didn't sound very powerful, but that sounds pretty powerful now. Okay. Good. Righto. I'll turn it off instead of talking over it. That's the only downside, isn't it, of an electric fan? They do sound a bit crap, don't they? Pulling 10 amps. It's not too bad actually. I might put a smaller fuse in that because it's got like a 30 amp fuse in it. That's less than the headlights take. The headlamps take yeah, that's a bit of a... The headlamps take about 15. Yeah, so I'll put a smaller fuse in the fan circuit. I probably didn't need such heavy wire actually. Okay. Right. Okay, just a bit of tidying to do. Well, a lot of tidying to do. Okay, that's all the major components wired then. I might put some shrouding around that wire, around that single wire, because that's the reason why it's black as well, so it's a little bit less conspicuous. You know, you wouldn't want like a bright yellow wire running through there, would you? I suppose it could go under the radiator, but I wanted the radiator to sort of support the wire in a specific area so that it doesn't rub on a pulley. I'll put the wires on there, look. See those? I'll put the wires on the generator. All the wires for the engine bay, plus the fan, there, that's the fan wire there, that black one. They come through that hole and they run along here. Got the generator there, feed for the distributor there, and that's the fan. Okay, good. I'll put the grill shell on, we'll have a look, see how it looks, assuming that's not going to be in the way. I've got my number plate in there as well. Okay, what's the first thing that you think? Need a bit of matte black on there, Mart. Like the number plate. You know what that means, don't you? Yeah, that means it's registered. Hopefully I will have put the video out stating that. That's just wedged in there, that number plate. So I need to think of a way of wedging it in there with something that isn't going to be affected by moisture. Very good. All fits. Clear. Oh, say that. Yeah, it will fit. It will fit. Of course, that one there's got a bolt on it, hasn't it? Just about fits. Just about fits. Okay, good. Right. Quite pleased with my wiring job. You know, all amateur, and all done with bits of wire left from all my other wiring jobs. I mean, when I bought the wire for the other wiring jobs, you know, I did buy plenty, but I've wired the 33, the truck and this car, and here's what I've got left. Look, getting a bit low on some of them. Okay, righto, jolly bright colour they. So there we are, wiring, Dunsky. Okay, I will have a tidy up, think about anything else that needs doing, and I'll bring you back when there's more to show. In the meantime, thank you very much for joining me in the garage then. Take care and I'll catch you on the next one.